about me saying about black folks don't have and what we need to have. But Clint, you done made a significant difference in that district, in District 1. So I want you to know I believe in you. If I ain't believe in you, I told Oliver Robinson that he was fucking up, and Oliver told me no, he wasn't fucking up. I said, Oliver, them white folk down in Montgomery telling me you fucking up.
Yeah. What's happening, man? What's happening? Y'all, we rolling.
Oh, I was cussing and we rolling.
Well, of course, that ain't no surprise. Welcome to another episode of Barbershop Stories, the podcast, episode 38. And this fella, he don't need no introduction, so we just gonna simply call him AJ. AJ, what's happening?
Nothing much, man.
Appreciate you coming on out here today, man.
Shit, after you talking crap to me all week, I'm just happy. K1, I want to thank you for doing this outstanding job on this podcast and the things that you've been doing. I want to tell a personal friend of mine, well, 3 personal friends of mine are in the building and they watching. First of all, the top lawman in the whole state and the first black district attorney in the city of Birmingham and in Jefferson County. I want to thank Danny Carr for showing up today.
Danny, what up, Danny? Yeah, tell Danny come on around and show that little Martin Luther King folk too, man.
Oh, you wrong for that.
Yeah, man, Clinton sitting over there with them little teeny wieners.
You wrong for that.
Teeny went out for.
But you know you the man that can take care of that for you and Sam.
We're gonna hook them up as soon as they quit social distancing.
Right, and then another person that I want to thank tremendously for just showing up. My city council person in District 1 came to support me. He a former football player like his father, but his father played for my favorite team, the Raiders. But he ain't play, around here catching passes.
Well, Little League All-Star.
Little League All-Star.
Little League All-Star. Deepest nigga on 100 pounds.
Deepest one. And that's Clinton Woods on District 1.
Clint.
I want to thank CC for coming. CC been just like a little brother to me. He's just like you and Sam to me. He's been somebody who, if I call him, if we want to go shoot pool, I think the last game I beat him up at the break with 1 ball left on the table. But still, if I call him, he on the way.
Dog was so funny. Dog would be so serious and be going to crack. And then
I'm telling you the truth.
No. Shit for real.
But how you gonna do that? Like you on the radio station right now, and I'm trying to tell this man, this dude sponsored us food and everything from the Carter Group, and CC also from Carter Seafood. It's on Fat Cat was bumping, Chicken was bumping. It's at 512 8th Avenue or Abraham Woods, North Birmingham, Alabama. And I just want to thank CC for at the last minute coming through with some food. 8th Avenue Plaza, Sam, and coming through for some food. I want to thank Gloss and everybody else who showed up, all our folks. And it is time for us to change the way Birmingham has been addressed. And that's what I'm all about. Anybody that know me, I grew up in Kingston. I did 21 years in the military. I haven't asked nobody for nothing. I don't have no children. I'm probably never going to get married.
What branch you in? We got to say how tough you were. What branch you was at?
I served both. I've served in the Marines and the Navy.
Marines and Navy? Which one you retired from?
I retired from the Marine Corps.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, it's called Joint Chiefs Staff Forces. Okay. But the reason that I wanted to bring that into the equation, when we talk about others who come before city council, I've been going in front of the Birmingham City Council for over 25 to 30 years, ever since Mayor Arrington was the mayor of the city. And Benita Carter was killed. I think that was probably one of the most traumatic times of my life, to see this young lady get murdered right there at, y'all know it now is Sweet Daddy's, but it was Jerry's. And now Jerry's has moved right down the street, across the street from the Holiday Inn Hotel. This man's still making money and he's killed a black female and nobody's saying that. My niece Riri just walked in the door late, but I'm still loving her for coming to support her uncle. I just want, the thing that I really want before I die is to see my people have something. And I've talked to Clinton Woods about it. I've talked to his father about it. I've talked to business leaders about it. I'm really and truly upset with all the black local politicians in Birmingham.
Well, Dolph, let me ask you. You said you've been going for over 25 years. Mm-hmm. Birmingham has had a black mayor for
44 years.
Yeah, this is the 41st year.
Yeah.
What changes have you seen in the city of Birmingham from 79 to current, if any?
Okay.
What changes have you seen? Had it been good? Had it been bad? Or it's just been kind of
marginal? Well, to answer your question, Ben, and I'm glad you did that. And Carlos Dansby just walked in, NFL celebrity. I'm glad you came, Carlos. About time. And to answer your question, the best mayor that I think that we've had with longevity is a man named Richard Arrington. And I have to say that in two ways, Benny. Benny, first of all, Mayor Arrington was innovative enough to say, hey, let's have some black folks in these positions. Now, Benny, understand what I'm saying, Sam, Benny. I don't agree just by having a black person in office that, we've overcome. That's a lie. Because right now, the same people who have adorned those seats have strictly gotten money. Most of them have gone to jail. And right now, I can name, at least 5 black politicians in Birmingham, locally, who've gone to jail. So when you ask me, how do I feel about us in the city having a black mayor for that long, for 41 years, then we still don't have a black bank that is actually owned by the black coffers. We still are the last ones, Clinton Woods, in business. We're still the last ones who are passed over when we're talking about the buying power of blacks.
Now let me ask you this, going back in reference to banks.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make a difference, just like a politician or having a black bank, if they still got to go by federal rules?
If they got to go by federal rules, Benny, you got to think like this, Benny. Benny, everyone in this room, Benny, either you, I, or Sam asked to come. Benny, you need to get right with this tonight. It's all about who you know. Benny, I could walk into a bank right now, and if my credit score is decent, then they're going to treat me decently. If you got money in the bank, Benny, if you got over $100,000 in the bank, Benny, they're going to say, hey, Mr. Mac, or hey, Mr. Benny, or Mr. Benny, I hear you on the radio show every morning. See, that's ass kissing.
Anything not to take that money out of there.
Okay, anything not to take the money out. But this is what I'm saying. Even down to the collard greens and the beans that you eat. Somebody has to do some digging. And until we start doing digging, Benny, Sam, and start asking questions about why our people don't have, and then when we start doing it in a major number and say why our people don't have, then that's the only time we're going to have some understanding from those people. Because now largely the amount, if you're looking at Compass Bank, Regions, or former AmSouth, if you're looking at Compass, Regions, any of these credit unions around here, these people don't give a crap about you, Bennett, because it's the way they treat you. And what hurts me the most, when you walk into a bank and it's a black teller, female or male, behind that counter, you got to get the neck. I thought we weren't at McDonald's. You got to get the neck. You don't get, hey, how you doing, mister? But now, this dude right behind you, he's white, he's brown, he's another color. This guy gets he gets an ink pen handed to him.
Well, Adolphus, couldn't that be a cause and effect from that, though?
Okay,
and the reason why I say that, because I know a lot of people say on how people are treated, but they say hurt people.
I'm going back to what Sam just said. If I take my money out of that bank, Benny, if I had $100,000 or $1 million in the bank, do you know somebody gonna call me and ask me what was my problem? What was the problem with the teller? They're gonna ask me if you withdraw $1 million. So Benny, here's my point, Benny. And Benny, I don't want you to play the devil's advocate up here. Listen to me. No, Benny, you asked me to come here. Now, if you wanted the straight way, I'm giving it to you the straight way.
You want a straight question too?
I do. Okay. And I don't want you to pie. Don't give me that pie. I don't want no pie.
No, we don't get ready.
So all I'm saying to you is, Benny, when my people have the same amount of money as their white counterparts, whether they be male or female, how in the world is a white female looked at as a minority in this country, and she's married to the majority, and they get I just said that, and I agree with you, and they get 2 parts of the money. They getting 2 stimulus checks. Because and I need your law brain on this, Danny, because it's real funny to me that white people can separate, but they don't divorce. Real funny, ain't it? They can live in the same house, Lucille Ball, Ricky Ricardo, they can live in the same house and have 2 separate beds, but they eat from the same kitchen, and their children get the same money. Do you know there are white children who go to schools, Auburn, Alabama, they get food stamps, they go into school for free? But what about the black children at Miles College? And why aren't black legislators talking about that? And see, that's what I stay on Clinton Woods about staying grounded. The other day we had a situation, I don't know if y'all heard about it, in Birmingham, where there was some meat that was passed out, and the meat was from June of 2018. Now, I'm not going to call the names of the politicians, but at the end of the day, the pastor was the culprit. He was the fall guy. All I'm saying is, when are we going to ever legislate ourselves to reading? Reading is fundamental, Benny. But what about the comprehension of reading? You can read all day, but do you comprehend? Do you know why half of our children, especially black males, Danny Carr, can't get driver's license in Birmingham? They can't read.
Adolphus, do you think that sometimes we be a little hard on others because of what we see on TV and not the reality of what's actually going on?
The reality.
The reason why I'm saying that is because you always hear people say how bad blacks are, and these niggas ain't doing this, these niggas ain't doing that.
Okay.
But think about the diaspora of people you run with. Mm-hmm. How many of them are successful? Mm-hmm. So if you think about it, if Danny hang with 20 people, I'm sure Danny don't hang with nobody that sell on nickel sack. I'm sure.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I'm
but
sure,
do me a favor.
So what I'm saying is, so if everybody you know hanging with folks who doing something, couldn't that be just a negative narrative that we just buy into on TV?
And I'm glad you brought the word up, narrative. All right, let's do this since you just brought up Danny. Danny is a personal friend of mine. Danny is from Pratt. Danny went to Jackson Olin High School. So now you tell me.
You went to the other green.
Yeah. So you telling me, you telling me that Danny Carr, as professional as he is, Danny, where you got your law degree from? From Miles College. His mother is an educator. She's an educator who's been educating for over 30 some years. Mm-hmm. At Winona. So now, since you said that, I'm going to put Danny on the hot seat. You telling me that Danny and Cece, me, you, really? Kingston? We don't know no drug dealers? So what the narrative is? The narrative is that Cece, Danny, Clinton, they changed, Carlos, and wait a minute, and especially Carlos Dansby. They changed their own narrative. And Benny, that's what we got to do. Do you know how many people have called me since Danny been in office, and they found out how close I was in the campaign to ask me this? AJ, you do me a favor. I said, what? I heard you and Danny Carr real tight. I said, yeah, we are real tight. They said, would you call him and see if you can find out what's going to be going on with this case or this person, and see if he'll be lenient on a capital murder case? Are you serious? Are you really serious? You want me to call this man on his cell phone and say, hey, Danny, I need you to do me a favor, man. It's a boy up here in Gate City that shot this little girl, and I really need you to, think about, talking to Stephen Wallace and seeing if we can fix something for him. Now, this is what I want to say to you, Benny, going back to your narrative. Why is it that every black person wants somebody to fix something for them but after the fact? Why we can't fix it before the fact? Now, we got all this power in this room, but we can't fix nothing. Carlos Dansby is about to build a hotel in Anniston. Why ain't Carlos Dansby building a hotel in Birmingham? Now, I need you to change the narrative for you. Because, no, let me finish. Okay, I see what the narrative is. The narrative is that black people don't respect their own, first. I've traveled around the world. I've seen black Chinatown in London, England. I saw a Chinatown in London, England, but I ain't seen no black Chinatown. So my CO got mad, and they try to go off on me about saying, Johnson, well, why you always talking about black folks? And like I told my CO, his name is Philip A. Durr. Admiral Philip A. Durr right now. So this is on YouTube. So his name is Admiral Philip A. Durr. You can Google him. He was the CEO of USS Yorktown. So this one I'm saying to him, if I'm not talking about black people, and if I'm not feeling who I am, then isn't that a part of you disrespecting me? Why I'm asking you, Benny, why can't I feel good about my people, Riri, having something? Why when they had the Gate City explosion, Clinton Woods, Riri, why did everybody call me and say, what you gonna say? AJ, you need to call them folks and see what you gonna say. So I called Twinkle.
You on the news, man.
No. You ain't got. It's not about seeing me, Sam. It's not about seeing me out front, Sam. It's about your voice. It's about what you're saying when your people have a cancer. Do you know what the cancer for my people is? You know what that cancer is? My cancer is my people don't want to live right. Now we want to go buy everything from the Koreans, from their shoes. We want to get we want to get their nails done. We want to sit. Why is Donald Trump pushing the country to go back now? Because Memorial Day is coming up, and they know that we're gonna spend some money on some ribs.
Well, that's gonna happen.
Y'all, let's get it right. No, I'm saying this right here, Sam. Sam, Benny, you told me this. You and CC told me this. We spend over $1.1 trillion or $1 million.
I think it's probably about $1
billion
around this time.
in Birmingham.
We own.
Now do me a favor, and me and Danny and Carlos Dansby we had this conversation in Danny's office. Do me a favor and give me the number of how much a one pair of Jordans cost times the 212,000 people that live in Birmingham who are mostly black, and you tell me who's getting stimulus checks. Did you know it's a disproportionate number of females, black females, who are getting checks and not black men because black men aren't working and we're not filing taxes. So let's be clear on this, Benny. When we talk about this issue, Sam, let's be clear on where I'm coming from, because I'm sick and tired of people trying to say, he said this or he said that. I'm the blackest person I know around here.
But
iron sharpen iron.
Like I was saying earlier, I think that people focus too much on the folks who ain't doing shit. Because I know a bunch of them that's doing something. You don't hear nobody just say, man, what's the name running the business? Such and such doing that. So I think that the people who ain't doing that, honestly, just like the Bible said, the poor are always going to be among us. So we can't keep putting so much stock in somebody who ain't doing that.
All right, so here's the deal.
Focus on the ones who are.
Well, do me this favor then. What do you know, what is the percentage out of 100% of this world, and especially in Birmingham, is ran by politics? Tell me that. Do you know? Off the top of your
politics,
head.
Politics, probably 100%. Every aspect of your life.
Your life is ran. Your life is ran 80%. 80% of your life is ran by politics. 80%. So it only leaves the other 20. So now this is what I'm asking you.
What signs is that?
Well, no. That's the city signs. That's I tell you what. That's UAB signs. Okay. So and you know.
I never heard that.
Well, I'm just letting you know. Well, you got one of the top professors. You got one of the top professors at Birmingham Southern for politics and at UAB. So if she says it, you know, Fox 6 has it on the news all the time. If she says it, it must be quoted right. So if 80% of your life is ran by that, that's your water. You got a water board, correct? Mm-hmm. What your water board been doing with the water money? Hadn't it been scantily getting away, and didn't they just have a big old problem with them buying boats and yachts? And
still going up,
and your water bill is still going up, but your water quality is going down. That bottle of water right there is not worth the bottle it's tapped in.
I don't know. Hold on, dog.
No. I'm telling you.
Some of the highest quality water on First Avenue now. 75 cents per bottle, too.
Okay, well, do me a favor, Benny, since you want to interrupt me every time. This is what we're going to do. So, Benny, this is, well, you know I'm just messing with you, but I'm still saying that, you know, we on TV, so I got to act like
I guess you got to show out a little bit.
I got to show out a little bit. So this is my whole point, Benny. This is my point. Benny, you just told me this today, well, you reiterated it today. Benny, didn't you tell me today that the Birmingham Water Works charged you water
$220.21.
And your shop been closed for the whole Corona.
Yep.
1 month, 3 weeks.
1 month and 3 weeks. And so now do me a favor. I heard Sam say this on the slide to one of his customers Saturday. Sam said, due to the coronavirus, we done had to go up on our prices. I said, Sam, why you can't say it loud so everybody can hear you? He whispered it.
Did I lean over like that?
He was like,
with a hump on my back?
no, it wasn't gay. It wasn't a gay move. But you did it like Delilah did Samson. She had to whip. The Bible reads, and see, everybody need to stop saying the Bible says, because all the churches, we got 99 communities. If we did 5 churches, that's 495 churches. Our churches should be feeding children who are at home now and educating our children without a doubt.
A lot of them are.
And they are, and that's why I'm going back to what you said. I was going back to what you just said, Benny. We have to talk about who's doing, but we also have to talk about who's not doing, because they need to be broadcast, because they got a 501c3. And they asked Clinton Woods, isn't it funny that church, what's the name of that church? The white folks who come in black folks communities. Church of the Highlands, they getting plenty of money.
The white folks.
Yeah, I'm going to say the white folks, because guess what? You know what? I'm the only person who can say it.
You the only person that can say it.
I'm the only person that will say it.
No, that ain't true.
That
ain't true.
Okay, you said Highland, you ain't say white folks. I said white folks.
your question.
And I'm still going to say this right here. When it gets down to it, the white counterparts in the city of Birmingham in which I was raised, I went to school in Birmingham, elementary, high school, and I even played college. I came back from J.C. Smith, starting at right corner, and came back and started at Miles. It was all that.
You're the true dog.
All SIAC. The boy told you. He told you.
He's a bag him up.
Okay, so I ain't talking to you no more.
Or they blew past him. Which one?
Right. So anyway, to make a long story short, Ben, ain't no way.
Come on.
Ben, Carla's about the closest thing in here.
Well, yeah, see, Carla's
about the closest thing in here. So I'm going back to this. I'm trying to stay focused. Cause Ben up here, he trying to.
Stay on your heart.
Yeah, he trying. He
stay on your heart.
Don't worry about me,
Ben
man.
want to be the haircut slanger right now. So all I'm saying is this right here. See, this what I came here to say. These are the magazines that my people, young people, need to start reading. We need to start reading these magazines, Forbes magazines. So, K1, we need these magazines in our homes right now, because our children need to start reading and learning and earning finance. Because if without finance, the Bible reads about finance as well, and it tells you that money can solve. It can solve all problems. It doesn't say it does solve all problems. But I want you to know this. If you are a black man and you want to be a father, children cost money. That was Dorothy Ann Johnson. That was my mother. That was her prime saying. I'm going to say this one more time. Children cost money. And if you think they don't cost money, find out why some young man is locked up in prison. Go and ask 5 young men who are locked up in Danny Carr's county jail right now and ask them why they're in jail. And most of them will tell you, if they got the balls to tell you, they'll say, hey, because I had to get out there and get it the best way I know how. Who told you that? And I'm sorry, females, if y'all looking at this and y'all gonna say, oh, I know he was gonna say females. Yeah, I'm gonna say females, because guess what? My women in Birmingham feel like they are really the presence of the present. It is something that is given. No, it's not. It is something that is earned. If I take you out Monday, you better have some money Tuesday, because I'm not playing. I think that we have a structural problem in Birmingham when we talk about forgiveness of the black male. The black male, I'm going to go back to what Benny said, the black male is the greatest man on the planet. Everybody know it. That boy Ahmad knew it when they blocked him off. And he tried to, and they didn't tell the truth about him. He tried to turn around and run back the other way. He ran right into the gunfire. But see, we got to understand this. I cannot love someone who hates me. How can I continue to love a man that hates me? And I don't understand it. For the life of me, it really bugs me when I see people at Walmart. Last week, I'm in Walmart. I got my mask on. I'm pushing my buggy. This white man tells me to give me my space. I said, dude, evidently you don't see these dog tags around my neck. I said, I'm the reason you got this space. But see, that ain't how it works with black men who've been in the military and have served over 20 years. You know how it is?
You gotta get that man in CP.
No, I ain't got to give him nothing. This is what I'm going to give him. I'm going to give him some of these hollow points if he keep on bothering me. But what I'm saying to him is, like I said to him in front of all them folks, leave me alone, man. Stop thinking that you run everything. See, and I think that's the mantra that we've given white men. See, I gotta say, hey boss, how you doing, boss? No, I ain't gotta say nothing to you. Cause if I do something wrong, if I'm late too many times, you gonna fire me. But your partner, your best buddy's son, who been late 1,000 times, you ain't gonna say nothing to him, cause that's your buddy's son.
Well, let me ask you this, Adolphus. Ain't that the reason why us black people or any race of people want to be in a position to have the pool to do that?
Oh, I'm finna.
I mean, real talk.
No, I'm finna bust your head on that.
The reason why
I'm finna bust your head. I'm finna bust your head on this one.
Well, go ahead.
We had a black police chief, right?
Okay.
Black girl just shot a girl 15 times, right?
Yeah, back by
Overkill, right? Okay. So have you not heard Chief Smith get on television or radio and say that my black police officers need to calm down when they're arresting their own people? Benny, do I need to calm down and start thinking about your narrative when I'm a police officer serving the law and I got to say to myself, hey, what am I doing wrong here? This person is just like me. They grew up in an impoverished neighborhood. They went to, they went to sorry school. We got a sorry school system. I'm the only one who will say it. We got a sorry school system. We continue to put, we had 9 school superintendents. Tony, you late.
Yo.
We had 9 school superintendents. 9. Each one, well, 3 of them we sent off with their own, was still getting paid from Birmingham because they still got paid until they found a job. Now, Lisa Herring leaves here with $257,000, and our children are still dumb, still not passing the exit exam, still not about to graduate. The disproportionate number of Woodlawn, your high school, because they shut mine down. Carolyn Cobb told me they wasn't going to shut Hayes down, but they shut Hayes down.
Back to elementary and middle, right?
Back to elementary and middle. Now, Sam, I'm glad you brought that up. How is it that, Sam, a girl who has 4 children, sends her child to school, and you talking about you want to open up a charter school? How are you going to open up charter school in Birmingham if you don't have no money?
We got one coming right across the street.
So God is in the blessing business because He's in this conversation, and I'm asking Him right now to stay in this conversation. How is it that you're gonna open a charter school across the street from you, but your neighborhood look like trash?
What's the significance of a charter school? What's the difference between that and a city school?
Charter
For
schools
those that don't know.
Charter schools are ran by the person or company or people who have involved themselves in that money that they want to do. So that's Woodlawn Foundation. Woodlawn Foundation has already come to the city of Birmingham, and Clinton Woods is sitting right here, and they want money. But how do y'all want money when y'all got a millionaire supporting them? Mr. Goodrich is a multi-millionaire, and he's the reason that Woodlawn Foundation has been so well oiled machine put together and has been doing so well at the gate. So tell me, why can our other schools do that well? Why can't Woodlawn do that well? When Bobby Bowden came up here to tell them they weren't going to tear Woodlawn down, did they tear Woodlawn down? No, they did not. It's all about who you know, Benny. And I'm a firm believer in that.
Historic landmark or something.
Okay, it is, and I do agree, it is a historic landmark. And when you think about it, there are 2 schools in Birmingham that you're not going to touch. That's A.H. Parker High School, Woodlawn, in that order.
Well, we got a good friend on the podcast, man. She want to know, are you on social media? And do you have a page, or how you feel about social media if you're not on it?
Okay, yeah, I got
DP Johnson.
Oh, hey DP, how you doing?
DP, what's happening?
DP, what's up? Peace to you, Black Power. Hey DP, yeah, I'm on social media, and DP, I got 2 friends on social media. 2. I don't have but 2 friends on social media because DP, this is how I feel about myself. People always love for me to stand up, and DP, I don't know if you've done your research on me, but DP, when I worked at the county first. The county hired me as a paving consultant, and I was doing all the asphalt for the Eastern District. And I mean, there were no potholes out there because we levied all of them. But DP, what happened was they laid us off, and they had a rift. So I took my bullhorn and I went downtown Birmingham, and I put that bullhorn right in front of the county, and I let all of those county politicians who didn't stand up for us, I told them how I felt. Do you know what happened? Not Don Siegelman, but what's the other one? Riley. Governor Riley came to Birmingham. When Governor Riley came to Birmingham, he said, I want to see that guy, AJ. When he said that on Fox 6 News, every person who said they wasn't supporting me, all of them was back here. Everybody jumped on the bandwagon then because Governor Riley came up here to talk to me, and we sued the county, and we got our jobs back without having a rift. So, I mean...
I meant to touch on this when we was on it earlier.
Okay.
You said, people reaching out to you, you get tired, or
No, I'll never get tired.
Okay, well, it may get frustrating when people call you about certain things.
Right.
People reach out to people they think that have connections because you reachable, you touchable, you in the hood every day. It ain't nothing to see AJ walking in the gas station. It ain't nothing to see AJ in the barbershop.
That's
in
right.
any barbershop on this side of town, not just ours.
That's right.
It ain't nothing to see AJ at Walmart.
That's right.
So I think that's why they may, lean on you for that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're reachable, man.
Okay, but do me a favor.
Some of the politicians aren't. They're just straight up.
But after you lean on a brother, after you lean on this brother, I can get my niece Riri to come up here and tell y'all about that situation at Mount Moriah. And she'll tell you how she called me. And the reason I'm pointing her out is because I can point her out. Because that's why her and Tony are here, because I asked both of them to come. But Riri called me, my own niece called me, and she said, Uncle AJ, you need to come up here and see what's going on about this money. And I said, what you talking about? She said, because the pastor at the time, at Oliver Robinson, the money had come up missing. So I was like, Riri, that ain't my job, Riri. She said, Uncle AJ, I need your voice. So Sam, that's what I'm saying. But Sam, it hurts my feelings, Sam, that after you go and you do these things to help your own people. That baby that fell in the, what's the baby name, Danny, that fell in the, they got the sign up for right there across the street from y'all, Baby Jasmine. Baby Jasmine fell in that sewer. I'm at home minding my own business. Nobody would go and go look for that baby and see if they could get that baby. I went down there and it had to be 7 feet of water.
Hold up. So you were watching the news? Or you got a call?
No, I got a call.
Okay, I'm saying, hey, that's something else,
Deputy Chief, and you need to hear this, Sam. Chief Martis was a chief, battalion chief at the time. Okay. And none of them guys who were not my color, not my skin color, weren't going up under there in all that water. And Benny, y'all need to do y'all homework. Benita Carter, for real?
You went up under water, Dolphin.
Y'all always holler here.
This my whole point, Benny. Benny, this my whole point. There go Tony, Antonio sitting right there. So Tony can tell you, no, I'm talking about this right here. Tony can tell you how many times them police have harassed them children in Gate City. And Tony, who speak up, Tony? When they chased DU behind Vaca tried to kill him. Who went behind and stole Tony? And I snatched the money out the police hand. I said, if we're going to count it, everybody going to count this money. Danny, you have a lot of police officers, and I'm saying this, you have a lot of good police officers. So I got to go back to what Benny said. There are a lot of good people out here who are trying to make Birmingham work. But you have a lot of people who are against Birmingham. They're against the mayor of Birmingham, and this is a young brother. They're against him. They're against the city council. You got people that go to city council every Tuesday just to talk about folks so they can go back and get on the radio show at 6 o'clock every morning and talk about how they talked about people. So, Benny, I understand what your narrative is, and I'm going back to what DB said. All I'm asking is that when will my people ever legislate themselves as being the people that they are chosen to be? I want to see a black district held in Birmingham. And Clint, I want you to make sure it happens. I want to see a black restaurant, a white tablecloth restaurant. I want to see a place that Gloss talked about. I want to see a hood house restaurant. And I want to see a hood house hair salon and nails. and everything get done in the hood. That's what the sign gonna say. Everything you need is done in the hood house. If we gonna do what everybody say, if we gonna be like the rappers, why we can't go and do it? Benny, we got all this money that we spend on Jordans, and Michael Jordan is not married to a black female, and I'm not putting him out there. But I'm saying this, if we got 1.1 million people and we spending $100 and some on tennis shoes every month, who paying the light bill? The strip club? So come on, give me your narrative. Because if you're stripping in Birmingham and you've been stripping, and we got strippers in Birmingham that have been stripping for what, 25, 30 years. If they've been stripping for that long, where the money at? See, y'all want to play. Everybody want to sit back and laugh at me. But see, I'm the reason that we had a black strip club at 610 3rd Avenue West. See, but they don't tell that lie either, K1. They don't tell that lie about Magic City.
Yeah, I remember when you was at Mike with them neck braids, them livid ass neck braids. Run around there walking on your tiptoe holler. Y'all remember that shit, dog?
Okay, but do you remember this? Do you remember Scarface and Juvenile coming to Birmingham and coming to Gate City to get Marquise Drake?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I just want everybody. But when you say about the neck braids and anything else, I want you to also say that we brought in over $1 million in concerts, giving them children something to do. And Carlos, guess what? The whole time I was up there with them neck, my braids down to right here. Guess what? We ain't had no. I got a picture.
Well, you gonna have to pull a picture.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Them old,
and that picture is right there.
Right at the edge.
Oh, that picture is right there.
They're right at the edge.
They're right at the edge. Okay. So anyway, hey Danny, when he get through talking, I brought more black concerts to Birmingham than Afino Ron, all them major companies. And guess what, Danny, we ain't had no killings. Hold on now, we ain't had no killings. Because you cannot, I'm going to tell Carlos about our skating rink that we're going to build. You cannot do security in Birmingham and sit around and be ass watching. Because something about to pop off. And when it pop off, if you can't stop it, it's going to roll downhill. Because in a club fight consists of beer bottles, knives, and guns. And if you cannot stop that, you are in for a long night. Because here come Birmingham. So now the money-making machine that you had, the bar makes all the money. Everybody knows that. The door makes the money, and it's two places that you're going to lose money. The door and the bar. So if you ain't got somebody you can trust there, you're going to already be out. So I'm going back to say this because Benny got me off track, but I wrote this down, and I want to say this to everybody in this room. If you have made yourself, then you're the biggest mistake on the planet. If you made yourself, Benny, I'm going back to your point about talking about people and saying this, that, and the other. But if you made yourself, you're a big mistake. Because what are the things that you leave out every day, Benny, when you wake up? You talked about that today, about how you had to go back there and fix that hot water tank. So here's my deal. If you made yourself, then forgive yourself. Can you forgive yourself? And Carlos, I'm going to ask you about our word. What's our word, Carlos? Finish and redemption. Can you redeem yourself? If you lost $1 million, can you redeem yourself? Does God give you redemption, or do you redeem yourself? And how many people in here, by raise a hand, is a world changer? You were born at a certain time. Are you a world changer? Everybody in here should raise their hand, especially you, Danny, especially you, Clinton. Clinton, do you know how much people in District 1 are depending on you to make it right in District 1? They are depending on you. Are you a politician, and do you know what the word politician means, Danny? A lot of people don't know what the word politician means. The word politician is to run and to be elected as an official of a district or a part of a city or something that you're going to speak to these people about. But what hurts me, Danny, is that half of the Birmingham politicians don't want to speak out. During this coronavirus, have you heard anything from who? Name some folks you done heard something from. You done heard from LaShonda. You done heard from her. But what about John Rogers? Have you heard anything from John Rogers? Now here's somebody who love to talk. Have you heard anything that he's talking about bringing stimulus money? But everybody on the radio show, when I call in, the first thing they say, AJ, don't start talking about these politicians. I know why you don't want me to talk about them, because they paying. But I can say to Danny Carr right now, I was talking to Danny Carr's mother. She and I and his father were out at Legion Field. And his father and his mother said, AJ, how can we finish winning, getting the rest of the votes out for Danny? Because we need to go and push these votes. I said, first of all, we doing the campaign wrong. She said, what? I said, yes, ma'am. I said, Mom, we doing the campaign wrong. She said, well, what we need to do, AJ? She said, you tell me. I said, we need to work the campaign from the outside back into Birmingham. I said, Danny gonna win Birmingham, Jefferson County. I said, what about all them hick places that we need to go? She leaned back and she said, you know he got a point. But people don't want you to have a point in this town. And if you're an intelligent black man, you are number one enemy. The Bible talks about, the Bible reads, because see, I'm so sick and tired of all these preachers walking around, the Bible said, the Bible ain't open its mouth. The Bible reads, it says, study to show thyself approved. That means you must study. That means, Benny, you got to study about going down there to the waterworks and talking to somebody down there and say, how did I get this $200-something bill instead of paying the bill? You know what we're going to do. 9 times out of 10, you're going to go and pay that bill, because we don't want to rouse nobody's feathers. We don't want to say nothing, but that's how you win.
Well, I don't think it's not about no rousing no feathers. I think sometimes some battles you just can't win. And the reason why I say that is because you think about this. You think about in the business of making money and how much effort you got to sit 4-5 hours in front of somebody who's going to still say, well, that's the bill. What's your other option? It's the same thing about when people say with voting. If you get 90% of these people out here to vote and they don't get what they want, everybody keeps saying, go and fight, go and fight, go and fight. But you got to remember, time constraints fall on everything. Time means a lot for everything.
Do you know what Oliver told me one time? Do you know what Oliver Robinson told me one time? That tour program that the city of Birmingham have, you know where that tour program started at? That tour program started at the Bessemer Naval Marine Corps Center. Tours for Tots program out of the Marine Corps Center. I saw them giving all them tours away to folks from Jasper, Coleman, and everything. And the Marines were bringing their families down there, and I mean, they would load up a truck. So I told Company Commander Biscuit one day, I said, hey, why ain't none of them folks sending no tours to Birmingham? He said, because ain't nobody asked. He said, but I know, Johnson, you got some up. I said, yeah, I need some of them tours. And so I got Oliver Robinson to rent a U-Haul. And Oliver rented a U-Haul, and he drove it down there to Birmingham, to Bessemer. And I tried to get every toy in there.
Oh, so you and Oliver got that truck together?
So Oliver rented the truck. But I'm going back to say this. Zakina, his wife, saw me in Walmart one day. And Zakina told me this in the orange juice section. She said, AJ, you told him. But see, you can't tell people nothing these days. You can't tell these politicians jack. Once they get elected, Oliver told me, it was told to him, the best way to stay in office is to do as little and make less noise. Say less. Do less. And if they don't ask you to do nothing, then don't do nothing.
Clint, is that true, Clint?
No, I'm going to disagree with that.
Why
you have to disagree with that from your standpoint.
No, I want to hear why would you disagree to that? Because I know AJ got his point, and I just want to hear from a person who's in office. Why would you disagree with the statement Mr. Johnson just made?
Yeah, I come from a point of view of getting involved in order to accomplish something. So I don't like you in business. I have a business background, and so it's all about what you actually get done. So I measure everything off productivity.
Okay, so since you measure everything on productivity, keep the camera on, please, K1. Did I charge you? Did you have to pay me anything for working on your campaign? Family. Also, did I walk you through the whole Roebuck Gardens neighborhood, and every time I asked somebody to stop their car, did they not stop? We stopped a bus load of people. and I introduced you to them, and I told them that you were the guy that I thought was best suited to represent us. And then I put signs. We had signs. Is that correct?
Right.
Everybody I asked to put a sign in their yard, did they ever turn us down? Okay, so that's my point. So my point is, Clinton, I'm gonna ask you this: do you owe District 1 gratitude and favor to do anything that they asked you to do? One day I was at work and there was trash all about Eastlake, and Eastlake is not your district. I called you and I asked you, I said, Clint, could you get somebody to get over here? And I gave you the address. See, because then I'm not about lying. See, that's my whole point, viewing audience. We got too many people lying about our situation. Our situation is at critical. It's at crunch time right now. We're in the fourth quarter with 0-0 almost on the clock. We are at crunch time when they're killing our people. Bonita Carter was one of the first women that was murdered like that. Now we've been having we had Michael Brown. We got this dude just got killed. We got people who getting killed over and over, and we got black people who are in charge, but no one is saying anything. So what is my narrative? My narrative is that my people, black men, are being held up. You get pulled over for your light out, and instead of the cop just saying, "Hey man, do me a favor. I'm gonna keep record of this car. I'm gonna write down the VIN number and the name of this car, and I want you the next time I see this car, I want that light to be fixed." How that sound, Benny?
Yeah.
Why don't black police officers get out and walk in Gate City, Kingston, and Avondale? Why are they not walking a beat no more? Why are they not trying to talk to the lady on the corner? Now, I'm going to say this because we talked about drug dealers, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to call some names. Dangerfield, Lindsay Slaughter, Bean Belly. I could keep on going. When those guys was in Gate City, them children didn't want for nothing, and they paid bills. Because if you was on 66th Street or 66th Courtway and you sold dope out in Gate City, and Jimmy Lacey and his death, and when Stephen Hoyt was the director, you gonna pay some. If you gonna sell dope in Gate City, while I was up there, oh yeah, y'all gonna pay some bills up here, and that ice cream truck gonna be empty every day, because it's only right. So Benny, when we talk about the narrative of my people, and I still say in Woodlawn, Kingston, how in the world does Lil Giant, everybody in Kingston who know me, 44, how is there in Kingston on 44th Street North, 44th Place North right now, Lil Giant's grocery store, Lil Giant's store is owned by a Pakistani and not somebody black from the hood. Now you explain that to me. Explain that to me, Benny, because y'all good for y'all married.
All right, so you ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Right, this is why. You know, when you grow up impoverished, now this is just from my opinion and what I see. When you got a person who grew up impoverished in a certain area for so long, the whole inspiration is to get out. So when they do go to school, get a job, and they see where they can see fit to move somewhere else they feel like better for them, most of them do. And really, when you go to looking at it from the outside, can't you really blame that person from their experience?
Do you know that people, when they leave, I ain't have to call Carlos. Carlos called me.
Okay.
Carlos put Dance McCourt down the street. Now he's finishing putting a grocery store on the west side at the old Winn-Dixie. So I'm saying this right here, Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe.
I can't believe that.
I'm saying this to Eric Bledsoe because when they went to Hayes High School, he got his ball handling skills at Hayes High School. When him and Bebe, number 11, Chris Davis, they ran the touchdown back against Alabama. When they were in school, I made sure that they had stuff. Buck Johnson would call them, and I'd sit them in the middle of the floor, and I'd put Buck on the speakerphone, and he would talk to them. Now, the same way that Carlos and Bo Jackson and all those other Auburn people helped Bebe. All I'm saying is, now that you've gone and you've explored the world, and you were able to go to Japan or China, and you've seen different things, Benny, all I'm saying is, Benny, come back to where you were.
I don't think nobody disagree with that. But when people go to different places, you find inspiration in other places too. You know what I'm saying? And that's just real. And then one, you don't know why they left. When people leave, it ain't always because I just want to leave the hood. Sometimes it's like, bro, I want a better opportunity. And if you find your opportunity in Dallas, Jackson, Mississippi, New Orleans, or whatever, I don't see nothing wrong with that either. Now, I applaud for the people who come back.
Right.
I stay in the lovely East Lake Estates over by Conoco myself. But I do that because it's in me to do that. You know what I'm saying? But for the people who leave, like, for an example, you mentioned Eric Bledsoe's name. Mm-hmm. If he wasn't doing that prior to getting rich, that ain't really an expectation when they get rich.
Well,
they gonna do what they know.
Well, let me say this about Eric. Well, let me say this about Eric. Well, let me say this about Eric though, because I think like I said, you taking that and you running with it.
No.
Eric Bledsoe all the time comes back to Birmingham and he does great things.
I didn't say he didn't.
Book bag drive, all that. So all I'm saying is, Benny, you can't piggyback. Don't piggyback off what I'm saying. Piggyback off your own thing.
Nigga, I'm fine.
Well, okay, well, see, your mustache was longer than my braids. All right. So anyway, so I had neck braids, and you got a Bin Laden now. So here's my whole point to you, going back to that issue. The issue that I want to stay focused on is that I'm saying to you right now, if you made yourself, then you can forgive yourself and you can redeem yourself. But you didn't. So all I'm asking is that we, for one time, stop the killing in Birmingham. That's the first thing I want to talk about on that note. Let's stop this black-on-black crime. And let's stop talking about Ahmaud getting killed by two white men, father like son. But when are we going to stop killing our own? Now, we want to raise hell and heaven about Ahmaud getting killed, Michael Brown getting killed, Bonita Carter getting killed. Now, Benny, we want to do all that. But, Benny, I ain't heard you say not one time, when are we going to stop killing our own people? Now, and let me say this. You can kill with more than just a firearm now. Yeah, you can kill with your mouth.
Before that firearm even ever get touched. I
want to know, why is it that, what's the name of the apartments, Riri, up there in Center Point?
Which one? Valley Brook?
Valley Brook. Why is there in Valley Brook apartments now, everybody up there is like a tornado to kill? And who names well,
I remember when Valley Brook was Hoover, man.
Right.
Hey, when Pat was staying, remember Pat was staying out there?
Nice.
Late 80s.
Clean.
Man, we ain't nobody used to be outside.
Nice with it.
All right, so my point is, it was boring. So now the genocide comes when we come to town. Now wait, watch this now.
Now you ain't got to put up the gate, just open.
It's some of us out there in.
Okay, but guess what? They were nice, chosen ones. So this is my whole point, Benny. Benny, why is it that when we have the narrative, Councilperson Woods, why is it that when we have the narrative up there where I live, now the black man who his name is not on the house, it's his girlfriend's house, but his car is parked there, Danny, jacked up with no tires on it, oil leaking all over the place. Why is the narrative that when we move in, there goes the neighborhood? Why is that, Benny? Benny, is it that this black girl told me at Walmart, she said, I'm not ever, when the police officer got into it with the girl, I'm not ever coming back up here because this place is just too alley. Okay, why do you say where we are is too alley? Is it too alley when black folks come around? Oh no, everybody raised the same, and I'm glad you said that, Sam, because we need some ass whoopings. We need some ass whoopings in Birmingham. Birmingham needs some ass whoopings. These children telling their mamas that they don't eat bologna sandwiches. They don't eat peanut butter and jelly during the corona. I want to know who's on food stamps. Is the child on food stamps or the parent?
I'm with you on that, because I see, a lot of stuff, just being a barber for the last 20 plus years in a shop right here in the neighborhood I grew up in. I see a lot of stuff go on where it's people that I know older than me and, in my age bracket, kids out here into it. And, some of these people might be even kin people sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I know, the parent can't do nothing about the child, what the child doing once they grown and all that, but like you said, stuff be perpetuated a long time before them kids get that age. And then, still, even if they had grown, I'm DDTing the shit out of somebody. If your little cousin, you and your little cousin into it when it come down until it come down to pistol play, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You gonna see me first before I let you go over there to your cousin or to a family friend that grew up. We got to start with them people first.
Do me a favor.
Before we talk about people we don't even know.
Do me
you
a
got to
favor.
control the people that you grew up around and the kids that you know that this your people, folks.
Do me a
whether they
favor.
blood or not.
Do me a favor. We're going to stay on that.
Control
Hey,
them.
Danny, do me a favor and pull your mask down.
Get in the air.
And I need you to answer this question so we can hear it. Danny, what is your, when you do your assessment of the crime assessment for an individual, what is most of their educational level?
Oh man, it's low. It's probably at the most probably 7th to 8th grade.
What about your drug court?
Drug court, mostly dropouts. None of them have finished high school. Most of them have finished high school. And I will say this too, Cameron is there. A lot of this stuff starts at home. Let me just be 100 with you.
What tax bracket they coming out of?
I'm sorry.
We getting suburban, we getting urban kids. What?
No, most of the suburban situations is, well, you know, a child been basically abusing the medication left in the bathroom.
Okay.
Out of fluent family, but most of the time, if these young boys, it's going to involve drugs, territory,
Corey,
or woman.
thank you.
What's going to involve?
All right, and see, Danny, that's my whole point, Danny. And Danny, that's the thing that I think that when we have our personal conversation, that's what I hear you saying to me all the time. You always saying, you say, AJ, they always putting me on the spot. It's somebody I know. It's someone who haven't done nothing. But here's my point, Danny, and all the black females who are listening to this, y'all gonna love this. The black man has not done his fair share of parenting. It is called a 50-50 when you are having a man to have intercourse with a woman. He should have a challenge. The challenge should be, are you going to be a father? Not no daddy. Anybody can be a cake daddy, sugar daddy, somebody else, baby mama daddy. We got side pieces now. We got all these names that everybody using. But who's going to be a father?
Taking care of them more than them J's.
A lot of men want to be fathers.
Okay.
So what about the women? You know what I'm saying? That ain't allowing people.
It's two sides.
It is two sides, and I ain't arguing that. I'll go to you on this. It's one thing to go to a night. It's a very good point. It's one thing to go to a club and you meet a girl. It's one thing to go to church and meet a woman. It's one thing for them to say that God sent you your helpmate. See, we are not equally yoked. Because, but I'm not going to go there. I'm saying this right here. First of all, you don't go to church looking for no woman. Because if you go to church, people always say, man, go to church, you'll find you a good woman. How you going to find her? What kind of dress she got on? She's sitting on the front row with her skirt way up here. So your mind ain't on Corinthians, first chapter and third verse. 1 Corinthians. So your mind is on 2 Corinthians and her verse. And you need verse 1 through 7 because you need her 7 digits.
And I always starve now, Adolphus.
Well, I mean, however you want to do it, Benny, but this is what I'm saying. My point is, black men have not stepped up in Birmingham. We have not stepped up when our children are getting killed in the streets. We have not stepped up to parenting, and I still say parenting is 50-50. Parenting is 50-50. You have to pay to play.
Adolphus, how you think this coronavirus done affected the city of Birmingham? And it was a two-part question. And why does the city of Birmingham wear masks and our surrounding areas don't?
Ain't that something? Mount Brook is not wearing masks. Birmingham wearing masks. Over in Pratt Park last week had a massive party. They left Atlanta. Everybody week before last when Atlanta opened up and the beauty salons opened up and the nail salons opened up, all our women went to Atlanta to get their hair done. And then when they came back to Birmingham and checked my numbers, the corona infestation went up in Birmingham. St. Vincent Hospital was doing testing for free. William Parker, Council President William Parker, I want to give a hats off to him on coming up with the idea about doing it at Legion Field. And they tested over maybe more than thousands of people. And I think that was great. That's what I'm talking about, Benny, when I ask what are our politicians doing to levy the money and discretionary funds that they have, because Clinton we passed out hand sanitizer, everything in District 1. So all I'm saying is, I want to see everybody fighting the right fight. That's all I'm saying, Benny. Let me say this to everyone who's listening at the sound of my voice. I'm not belittling or putting down not one person, but what I'm saying is this: we all can do more. We all can do more. Stop saying what you can't do. We can go pop popcorn and watch a one-round Mike Tyson fight, and you can pay $100 for that one round fight, and you feel like you've been duped. But that boy ready. So my thing is, Benny, we can sit right here and get a haircut. Sam can say on his voice, "Hey, y'all, the haircut's done gone up," but that's Sam's expertise. How your head look? Your head look good. I'm gonna use your word. You look fine. So if you look fine, it costs.
That wasn't a good example either. Come on.
And fire ain't fast. And Sam, I sat here and watched you cut somebody's hair for 45 minutes.
Was it fine?
Some of these Negroes take 45 minutes.
I'm scared.
Maybe a little long.
Yeah. All right, now let me ask this question. This for everybody in the room.
Okay.
All right. A lot of times you'll see different people with different platforms. They'll get social media, news channels, and they'll speak about a black agenda.
Right.
What exactly is the black agenda for you?
Tony.
Whoever want to answer it first, because I hear that a lot. But you got to remember now, we got like 5, 10 kind of different niggas now. We know this now. We got the, you know what I'm saying? Like you ever hear a person say, you need to be on a black agenda. You need to do this for black folks. What does that mean to you? You know what I'm saying? Because you got the blacks who grew up with all whites. You got the blacks who grew up with all blacks. You got the blacks who had bad experience with blacks moving different. So what is that agenda when they say a black agenda? What does that really mean?
I think coming from my perspective, it starts with unity. The blacks, excuse me, the blacks that grew up with all whites, I would say they are the lost ones, because when they come around, they people, they wouldn't know how to interact with them. For the simple fact, they've been around another race. They've been taught. They've been, what else word I'm looking for? They've been
Grown.
different.
Grown.
Culture.
Things, right? So when they come to
Cultivated. Well, I'm gonna say.
they don't know how to relate. So therefore they go back to what they know.
Mm-hmm.
I say it starts with unity. I tell a person like this right now, my money, I don't care if you get offended. My money don't go to white businesses. It don't. That's why I tell my people, have what I need. Whoever got a car lot, let me know where your car lot is. I got 5 kids. And I'm in the house with all of them. I'm not a baby daddy.
No.
I've been married 20 years. Same woman 20 years. When I was coming up, I was one of those had a mind state, break the cycle. Don't be no baby daddy. What you get out of a baby daddy? You got a baby in Woodlawn, you got a baby in Winona, you got a baby in Avondale. Somebody didn't get some attention.
Come on.
Somebody didn't get some attention.
Come on, Tony.
Now here we go. The mama brings him in. I get emotionally out of something. I got 4 daughters and a son. I can't leave my daughters for another man to raise them. I can't do it.
That's a hell of a way to look at it.
My mind says, that man finna get up 2, 3 o'clock, go use the bathroom. He peeped in that window in that bedroom at my daughter. I can't sleep. Knowing another man in the house with my daughters, I can't sleep. I'm not the average black man, so to speak. I'm not.
But Tony, when you say keeping that money in the environment, and I'm gonna use Bennett's word, when we try to say that we want to keep our money in our environment, Tony, what about taking our children, Carlos Dansby? What about taking our children outside when we want to take them to Hoover? And I'm gonna go back to what Bennett said about having a better education. Do you know they said that any child that goes to Hoover or Spain Park that's over 6 feet tall, they do what? What do they do?
Sports.
They play sports.
They use us, man, to a certain degree. If you ain't benefiting them, they not coming to get you. If they see where you can benefit them, they coming to get you.
Okay.
But Tony,
See, where they don't have athletes in Mount Brook. They don't have them in Broward. They got them in Birmingham.
Okay.
The athletes are in Birmingham. Why do you think they come up here to get them? They don't recruit in Mount Brook. They don't recruit in Coleman.
I wish CC hadn't.
In Birmingham.
I wish CC hadn't left because CC played baseball
Hoover recruits in Birmingham.
at Inslee, and he was telling me tonight about how he played baseball at Inslee and how rich the environment was. Do you know that right now, do y'all know that Birmingham is not a football town? Do y'all know Birmingham is a black baseball town? And there was so many black baseball players, including Satchel Paige. Man, I can't think his name. He used to live up on the hill. Birmingham Sam Bryson.
Yes,
I can't think of the other guy. Right. Come on, Kingston.
Yes,
So I'm just saying, people don't even realize our heritage. So Tony, I hear you, and Tony, you know, and Benny know this. That's what I've been preaching. I want to know, and Clinton has to deal with this because he got a lot of white colleagues that sit on that council. But this is my point. I want to know why we don't have the banks who will lend money to folks like Gloss Street who want to open up a restaurant in a black district and serve black food. The culinary skills of the black people, did you know this, Danny? And Gloss knows this. Did you know that the culinary skills of black people can heal their bodies by the food they eat? Did y'all know that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But we are trying to get away from that.
But to answer your question, why we don't have these business, so to speak, in our community, so to speak, again, my opinion is a device to keep us in a frame. You get outside that frame, the powers that be got a problem with you. As long as you inside that frame, then be safe.
Well, Tony, if you take the picture and if you ain't in the frame, Tony, you can't take the picture. So the picture has to be framed. And like Bennett said, see, what we've done is we've let these people frame us as being a group of people or a race of people who won't work. The first thing they say about black people, we won't work.
Stop listening to what they say.
But you ain't listening to me. I'm talking about the narrative, Tony, that the whole world listens to. Isn't it kind of funny that if they said that the coronavirus started in China, what's the capital of China? Anybody here know?
Is it Wuhan?
Hong Kong? Japan, right?
Japan is in Japan.
What it is?
No, I said Hong Kong is the capital of Japan, or it's in Japan.
All right, but now, do y'all know that in Hong Kong,
I don't know about
the coronavirus is less than it is in the whole country of China?
Why is that?
Why is it? Where's the money at? I'm going back to what you said, Tony. We need to follow the money. If you follow the money, we will know. Carlos, what's the black bank that's helping you now? Is it Hope Credit Union? Hope Credit Union. Who is it owned by, Carlos? But it's not owned by blacks, right? But they're helping you. Carlos, do you know why most people help you? Can you give me 2 reasons why most people help you in business?
It's a benefit to them.
Say again?
Because my success is one.
Your success is one. Number one, first of all, Carlos, is your name. Number 2 is your success. And would you believe this, Carlos, that I told you? And it's because you played football at a place called Auburn University. Do you know what, does anybody in here know where the first Alabama-Auburn football game was played at?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I know.
No.
You know I know.
right around there in on Claremont.
On Claremont.
Like
That's right, across the street from Piggly Wiggly.
Now, Tonio,
There's a bank right there now.
I'm gonna go back to what you were saying earlier. You know, when you were saying about like the children and stuff and how they grow up.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's a 50-50 thing because you got to remember the children have no decision in where they move to.
It's true.
And then 2, you got to remember when people take their children out to diversify their thinking, it's for them in some cases to come back and share what they learn. Because think about it, if none of us never get out that bubble, you really kind of lost.
But Benny, if you abandon your child, I'm going back to what Tony said. He said abandon. If you abandon your child and another man walks in to your house, because the woman that you abandoned, the woman that you abandoned, and I use the word abandon very, very, very tight. You abandon this woman, and she has four daughters and one son. She tired, she's working, she can't watch them children like Tony said. So you don't know what is predicated or what is thought on this man. And I really think that for the life of me, and I'm going to use this word, Danny, you're going to love this. Black women in Birmingham need to be better at picking and choosing and discerning who they open their legs to. I think black females in Birmingham need to be more discerning about who they are dealing with. Because now it's funny, and this is a joke, Bennett. A lot of people say, well, you had babies for 4 drug dealers, and now you 45 years old, and now you're looking for a Captain Saberho. You looking for somebody, now you want that good guy. You want that guy who got a job, and he's dedicated, and he wants to do right, Sam. But the whole time you were young,
you doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
thug life.
Slinging them yams.
But that's a typical story. I mean, you know, that's an elephant in the room. You know, that's shit happen every day for real. You know.
But let me say this: when I was
What causes it?
Oh, go ahead, Sam. I
Is
ain't
that
saying
money?
all men are bad step parents, so to speak. I'm just saying I can't leave mine to step parent my child.
Danny, we want to thank you for the community conversation at Benny Max. I really appreciate you. And it's like, Danny, I want people to understand this, Danny. Danny Carr is the type of individual that is not, Danny ain't no suit. He just get, no, I'm telling you, yeah, he got he gonna suit up and throw on them shades. But my thing is that Danny has the ability, him and Clinton have the ability to suit up, but they also have the ability to come out the suit.
Hey, we appreciate you, man.
Hey,
come through again. It's always down my
Hey, Danny and Clinton, before y'all leave, while you got the camera on you, what's your sight of a black agenda? I want to hear from y'all.
Let me tell you, and I'm gonna make it brief, but from my vantage point of viewpoint, a black agenda, and I agree, it can be diversified depending on your mindset.
And where you
For
from?
me, a black agenda is providing opportunity for others who look like you, who come from the same area as you,
All right.
and taking advantage of the opportunities you have to expose.
And that's all I've been saying.
Where you give you a prime example. My granddad always used to say that most of the time young kids can only be what they've seen, what they've been exposed to.
That's all.
That's right. Exposure.
And me coming from Ensley, I've seen my granddad own property through Ensley. As a young man, I worked on that property. And then once I became an adult, one of my quick ideas was the way to give back was to open a barbershop in Ensley.
And you did.
And employ young men who now been working there for 15 years and can take care of their own family through that barbershop. Because since I own the building, I can allow them to work there pretty much cheap and give them a career. To me, that's giving back. That's providing opportunity.
It is.
That's giving back,
Of
period.
a black agenda. Another part of a black agenda being a DA. Being a DA, people ask me all the time. That lady say, "You the DA? What black man would ever want to be the DA? You lock people up. You should be a defense attorney." And my answer was simple to her. My answer was very simple. That if you don't have a seat at the table, you're on the menu.
You can't eat.
And if you ain't sitting at that table deciding what happens to folks and trying to give folks a second chance, you come back to charge a lot of black folks a lot of money, sell them a dream, and knowing that you can't do nothing because you don't make the rules, the DA makes the rules. So you got to be inside of it to make a difference also.
That's correct.
But still hold people accountable when they need to be held accountable.
All right, Danny.
All right.
Hey, Danny, last question.
Appreciate
Last question, and Clint, you got to add in on this because Ben always jump in time. This the other part of the black agenda. Should preachers have gone to Washington D.C. to talk to Donald Trump about the black agenda without hearing from us?
No. And let me say this also. And I will say this. If you're talking to Donald Trump about the black agenda, then in my opinion, it should have been a lot of promises made that you walk back with not only the black agenda, but the agenda being how you can put stuff back in the community financially. Because at the end of the day, most of us can do what we need to do. We just need an opportunity.
You need some money, Danny.
And if you ain't Carlo Dance, You ain't Carlos Dansby. You gonna walk into a bank and have access to an opportunity, then you're gonna still be walking around trying to get it the way you can get it. So you give a man an opportunity, and if his heart is right, he gonna make the best of it. He gonna pay it for it.
Teach a man how to fish, Danny. Teach him how to fish, he'll eat forever.
Took it out of my mouth. Iron sharp nine.
Iron sharp nine.
They go back to like
Teach 'em
taking
how to make sure
children
they
out.
continue on.
You gotta let them see something different, man.
Yep.
I'm out.
All right, man.
Exposure.
Danny, man.
I like
Hey,
that.
Danny.
Appreciate it, bro.
Danny, don't say I kept you, because I told you could have been gone, but Danny, you stayed.
He hung out with us, baby.
Yeah,
Where's
appreciate
good
that.
folks in, man? I still like that. I like being around good
Come on,
folks.
Clint.
Go ahead.
Come on,
I
Clint.
just want to jump in on the
Okay.
economic piece. And so you talk about the agenda. I think everything got to be rooted in that in economics. So
Okay.
it's
That's right.
an economic opportunity, you know, and I think the best example, you know, we're going through the pandemic right now.
Right.
Government, you know, federal government, $2 trillion they kick out, and a lot of people couldn't take advantage of it. You know, specifically from the business point of view.
Come on.
So if it's not structured right, if you don't have everything tight, you can't go in there and take advantage of the dollars they basically was giving out. And so I think it's important to scale back and make sure we're showing people a pathway to where they can make money.
Clint,
Go ahead.
how important is it for a politician to levy his ideas to his constituents? How important is that?
Very important. And so, I mean, you got to be able to, one, have good ideas, but also get people excited about doing it. You got to get people to want more. And so
And, all right,
part of that
why-
exposure is part of that.
Why has Alabama been overlooked with the stimulus money?
I don't think it's been overlooked. Every state got it based on population. You know, and it's all about a lot of businesses were able to take advantage of it. But I mean, it's being in position, having your stuff tight from the book's point of view,
Okay.
business structure. I mean, you know,
Knowing the right people.
people getting 7 figures. You know what I mean? People's getting 7 figures, and if you do what you need to do, keep your employees, meet those criteria, you just get to keep it. You know, so it's literally, you got to be in a position to take advantage of that.
So my point
agree
is,
with
then,
that,
Clint, why is the Birmingham City Council being faced with trying to rescue some of these businesses?
I think one, and so we talk about the city council trying to do what we can to make sure businesses keep operating.
In Birmingham.
Right, at the end of the day, you know, the city is funded by tax. you
True.
know, so if businesses fail, you know, the city, the trash
City
will stop
fails,
using.
yes.
Yeah, I mean,
That's right.
it's all tied together, so
Right.
we gotta make sure that we are, doing what we can, I mean.
To help them.
Right, I mean, because if they fail, we fail.
That's right. Appreciate it,
All
Clint.
right. Appreciate that,
Straight
brother.
up,
Clint.
man.
And Clint,
Thank you, man.
that's been my whole point about politicians in this conversation, in this community conversation podcast tonight with Benny Mack. Everything that I've been trying to point out is that the politicians have all the answers. And if they don't have all the answers, Clint, like you just said, they should be creative enough to ask their constituents in each district what's going on. And I asked Benny to play Marvin Gaye, what's going on. We need to know what's going on.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you,
What's
man.
up, Clint? Appreciate
Thank
you
you,
coming
Hey,
out,
we
man.
appreciate you, man.
Tune in to the Home Team Morning Show in the morning.
The
6
atmosphere
a.m. to 10 a.m.
24/7.
That's right. Carlos,
Out of town, man, when you still
what's up with the agenda, man? You know, because see, one thing about it, you know what I love about it, it's so many different perspectives because you got a wide range of people. So you know what I'm saying, to relatable to non-relatable, but I don't think that a
But
person
you
has
got to go back to what Tony said, though, Benny. Benny, we got to stop making it so broad because you can't paint it with a broad brush
See-
because we know everybody. Tony,
But
you know
see,
one thing?
but out of billions of people in the world, bro, it's almost impossible
Well,
because we see different stuff.
do you know
And
one
don't-
thing
and
we
you
ain't
don't-
talked about?
And you don't have to step on a point to
We-
make that point valid. 'cause
I'm
all of it
saying,
can be
Benny,
valid.
we haven't even talked about the sick and shut in during this coronavirus. Our elderly people who are 70 and plus years, where are they at on this coronavirus? These people are somebody gonna knock on somebody's door, and the door just gonna open up, and it's gonna be a stench in there because somebody gonna be expired. We have not done what we can do to check on our sick and shut in. These churches, I don't know if they've done that. If we are all related, if we are at war in this country, and I think we are at war because nobody want to say this, but this is a man-made virus.
But we ain't all related though.
I agree, Tony.
Not all related.
Not in the mindset, Tony.
Not even in the physical form.
What-
Not all related.
what Bible
Say
verse
this,
is
I'm
that,
gonna say
Tony?
this.
What Bible
Let
verse
me
is
say
that?
this one time, Adolphus. They like to say, we all God's children. No, we're not. We all God's creation. All of us is not God's children. But all of us is His creation.
Okay, Tony.
All of us is not his children. I know there's a whole nother conversation.
No, it's not.
But it's real. All y'all ain't my children. All y'all my creation. It's some of y'all I'm gonna kill. I'm gonna kill you. This the Most High talking. This ain't me talking.
Come on, Tony.
And he got his reason why he said he gonna kill. I can go down the list, but out of time. Like I said, that's another conversation.
Well, don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere.
However, we can chop it up.
Yeah.
But my thing is this. Me, I love history. That's my favorite subject, history. Coming up. I done figured this out. I love you. And I don't like to really call the dead name, but I'm going to call his name, Dr. King. I love you. I love you with a big chunk of my heart. But me, not nobody telling me this, nobody telling me that. Me doing my own research. I came up with this.
Mm-hmm.
Immigration was the wrong thing to do.
I agree. To a certain extent, yeah, Tony.
You never, again.
Black Wall Street,
I
Tulsa.
read the word say keep the races separate.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
You never supposed to integrate the races.
Mix.
Even to this day.
Mixing.
You always keep the races separate. But when you come over here, anything goes.
Bloodline.
Anything goes.
Bloodline, Tony.
So that's why I don't agree with integration. I don't. I told you earlier, I agree with dealing with my people.
It said every man should have his own, right?
I deals with my people. I don't want to deal with the Esau, so to speak.
Right.
I want to deal strictly with
So every man should have his own, right, Tony? Yes
That's
or
why
no?
I say y'all have what I need. I got my ball. He finna bill him.
Grocery store.
Grocery store. Okay.
Bank.
I got my car dealers down here who I go to.
Right.
Just bought a dollar car. Whatever I need,
Have it.
I try to spend with my people. McDonald's up here across from Bell. I go to Bell's.
Black owned.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Eagles over here in
Black owned.
Eagles. You know where
North
I'm at.
Birmingham.
And I feel like we still segregated.
Well, you see the sign right here, right?
When you
You
say
see the
that.
sign.
I don't spend my money with.
We're not segregated on we're not segregated on paper, but I feel what you're saying, because I feel like if you look at just the areas and the demographic in each area in each part of town, we still segregated. We separated. It may not be segregated on paper, but we separated because different people in different areas.
Hold on, Tony. Let Carlos comment, and then we'll come back before we close out.
Oh, man, mine was gonna be quick because I was listening to Clint.
Well, just come on.
I was listening to Clint talk
Right.
about, people gotta have their stuff tight in order to get
The money.
access to this money.
Right.
Well, why not come up with a solution if you know our people ain't got our stuff tight? Come up with a solution that they can still access
The rhetoric.
this money.
Change the rhetoric.
That we don't have to go to them.
Change the rhetoric, Carlos, because we ain't got our stuff in one socket.
Nigga with they shit
No,
tight.
I'm not saying that, but Carlos is saying this.
Nigga with they shit tight.
If we ain't never been, listen to me, if we ain't never been in this situation, how can it be tight when we don't know the paperwork, when we ain't seen the paperwork?
Right.
The paperwork is
Even
been
when it's
hidden
tight.
from us, even when it's
Can
tight.
I say this, y'all?
Yeah,
Let's go back. You said it earlier, AJ.
Okay.
Let's go back to Black Wall Street.
that's right. Tulsa,
Okay,
Oklahoma.
Now you think from Black Wall Street up to this present day, them business wouldn't have branched off?
Ooh,
Let me say this.
some
You
children
think
had
up
some
to
money.
This day, them business wouldn't have branched off.
Them children would have had some money. Those people
ain't
seen
no
that.
other places that was like that.
Let me finish this right here.
They saw it, Tony.
Let me finish this. Where you get the bomb in the plane from?
U.S. government.
Thank you.
I ain't arguing.
Why did you bomb it?
Well,
Why did you bomb it?
That was Ron Brown.
Why did you bomb it? Got to be a why.
That's
Why
what-
did you bomb
we
it?
threw-
I can tell you why. You
we
know
all
why
can.
you bombed it? You bombed it out of
sit on.
jealousy. Because we were fresh out of slavery for about 62 years. This happened in the 20s.
Bombed it to
right.
stop it.
This happened in the 20s.
That's
So
right.
when they looked up, they said, how they got all of that and we ain't got it? How is it possible that they got all of that? It's a Wall Street
And they
we
made,
ain't got
Tony, they made a toilet.
We coming
They
in
They
here
made a
starting
toilet.
borrowing.
They
We
made the
borrowing from
toilet.
the slaves.
They made it from the toilet. And then parts
They
of the
were
car.
borrowing from the slaves.
No,
They
Henry
confiscated.
Ford took some of the ideas from black folk. The same way Bill Gates has done as well.
What I'm saying is say this.
Laws permit
I
them to
asked a
do it.
question because nobody can seem to come up with the answer. I just come off the dome. Has a bomb ever been dropped in the United States?
No.
We just answered that.
We drop all the bombs.
Then we just dropped one in Tulsa, Oklahoma in the 1920s.
Yeah. Hiroshima,
Again, has a
Hiroshima,
bomb ever been
Nagasaki.
dropped on U.S. soil?
Nagasaki, Hiroshima.
That ain't U.S. soil.
I just said that, Tony.
U.S. soil was Oklahoma.
I said that, Tony.
They dropped the bomb on the
I
folks.
said Nagasaki,
Pearl Harbor.
Hiroshima, and Nagasaki.
They can tell you.
It's the
Well, it
US
wasn't a
soil.
bomb. It wasn't a bomb dropped on Pearl Harbor. It was an airplane
Right,
attack.
that was kamikaze.
Kamikaze
I'm
attack.
talking about
A bomb.
and let it go.
Boom.
Boom. Has it ever
Wall
been
Street.
dropped in the United States?
You said it.
Yes.
1921.
Thank you. Why? Why
Hey.
did you drop it?
To stop it.
The original
To stop
hater.
what was happening.
The original hater.
You seen the progress that thing was making.
And
Yeah.
progress
They
and
said
progress
they
is
had-
passed
they
on
had-
to your children.
Bennett, they had over 7 grocery stores. They had over 4 banks. They had all the colleges. They had all the elementaries. They had all the high schools. They had
Dentists, doctors.
They had the doctors. They had lawyers. They had when you go get they had gas stations. You name it. Why you bombing?
To stop it.
Hey,
Stop
Even in the weakness of your heart. That's why.
Yes,
to
sir.
stop
Hey.
progress. Progress is passed on to your
How did
children.
we get all that fresh out of slavery? And we over here, we borrowing from the slaves. We literally borrowing from the slaves.
Well, when you talk about hog head cheese, when you talk about anything, Tony, everything they threw out the back door, we took it and made a delicacy out of
That
it.
was a choice for you.
Solutions. That made it what Carlos was getting into.
Them
Solutions.
solutions, man.
Still came up with something.
Choice.
You gotta come up with a solution, man. Because the crazy part about it, I had a conversation today. Hey, you called me this morning. I was on a conference call with the University of Utah, the dean of business,
See,
having a conversation
yeah.
about how people of color can get access and get a master's in business creation. We are the creators. We create all kinds
We
of
just
stuff.
master
We know how to do it.
So we want to be able to give our people access.
Right.
And all that.
Because out of hate colors come love. Out of hate comes love. These people got this. They know that this man who killed this boy, they know them folks wrong. So them folks want to give us something back as a token to say, hey, it's not all of us. So I understand and I hear what you're saying. But Carlos, what I'm saying is this. Once we get access to finance,
Right. But this is the thing. This is the beautiful part about
Go
it.
ahead.
Hate crime, they need to be
It's a-
penalized
it's
as
a
one.
9-month course. It's a 9-month
That
course.
was a hate crime.
That's a
you
short
have to go
time.
through because of the creation that you come up with.
Right.
And then they give you an opportunity to have a team of 3.
wow.
They're taking on 50 ideas. You pass this course. At the end of this course, now you at Shark Tank. You got all the information that talks you everything you need to know about business. You got a certificate. You got a master's degree
You got the
in
bag.
business creation.
Creation. And the,
A master's degree.
and the
You
creation
ain't got to go to college to get this degree.
and the creation is how you make money anyway. New
How
creation.
you get funded
New creation.
immediately.
Because of that paperwork.
Because you got your paperwork. And if you want to go back and get your MBA, they give you an opportunity to go get your MBA too. On top of your master's.
That's some good information to know too, Lo.
Well, I just
University of Utah?
It's coming to Birmingham.
Okay, you bring it.
It's coming to Birmingham.
Okay.
well, I want to say this
So
on
it's
behalf.
time, man. Like I said, you got to come up with solutions. Like you said, Clint just said it. If your paperwork ain't tight, how we gonna have access? How we know? We don't know.
We don't know if
We
the
never been
paperwork
exposed
ain't.
to it.
I
Like you
just
said,
said.
kids ain't been exposed to it.
I agree, Colin.
So now we gotta find solutions.
My parents had
I had
neither.
to find one, man.
And everybody, and Carlos, everybody can't walk into the bank, and especially a white bank, and get money, because they're not gonna treat you right. And then they want to know why you want the money.
Stop looking for the enemy to have your back.
I ain't Tony. That's not my
Just throwing that out
Tony. Well, throw this out. Where's the black bank at?
Create one. It's me. They got people out there that can come to the table and create one. Don't tell me they ain't.
Tony, do you know those people you talking about do
No,
not
I
want
don't know.
to? Hey, Tony, didn't you just talk about those people? You just said those people are not God's people. Do you know how many black people have the ability or the inertia to help another black and they won't?
They didn't talk about that. It got to be in you.
It's gotta be
Before
in
you
you.
get there. Carlos ain't doing what he doing because It went already in it. Hey, he love where he from.
You look at it right now. Our children ain't gonna work nowhere.
Why?
Period.
Well,
They don't. They
parenting,
we raise
parenting.
them like that.
I said
You gotta
parenting.
speak for yourself on that, cause
I'm
mine
like,
cutting grass and paint houses right
no,
now.
I'm just saying like.
Tony, he got a
they
point.
Different, like outlet now.
You got a point.
He said entrepreneur wise.
No, what I'm saying? These children they look for no job.
Fred, you got a point, Fred. He got a point.
No, hold on.
$30,000
But see, I was about to say, in reference to what Fred's saying, it's a bunch of entrepreneurs created, man. This dude's out there making $100
They
grand
figuring out how to make that money without moving.
on Facebook.
And
I ain't gonna that shit on social media, dog.
Serious,
That
man.
nigga serious.
The thing about it, for their generation, they got that fucking option.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got
We didn't have,
Yeah,
we saw
like,
old
we
men,
had internet when we were coming.
majority of those were born, maybe other you call those were born in the late 70s.
Right.
I was born in 78.
75.
I saw my dad work at Stockholm for 38 years.
30 years. And we was that
And
generation
when he
behind.
retired
Let him
from
talk, y'all.
Stockholm At 38 years, when he died 6 years later, he had been working his second job for 44. So you know what I said? My worst fear is that I'm gonna follow that step and I'm gonna work myself to death.
All right,
You know
generation.
what I'm saying?
Generation.
That's my job. That's my worst fear. I ain't worried about no nigga in the street. I'm worried that I'm gonna fucking work myself to death. I'm on the same route with you, AJ. I ain't never had no kids of my own. I've been with the same one for 24 years now.
Right.
In July coming up, we've been married for 16. I raised her 3 children to this day. When I met her, the youngest son is 24. He was 6 months when I met her.
I take my hat off.
Them your
You see
children.
what I'm saying?
Them your children, man.
But after a while, people like Sam, Fred, they've been around the whole course of that. So they can attest to what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, to a
Them your
certain
damn
extent.
children.
Come on, Glock.
And it's like our generation has made it, we the last leg of that hard working generation. That's what I'm coming out with Fred.
Come on, Glock.
That generation that Fred is raising and Antonio raising right now, as much as they got that in them, just as soon as they figure they can go that other route, they're going.
They going because that's
But the thing about it, you ain't gonna be able to stop it.
it's the easy way out.
If you stop it,
These children are looking for the
if you
easy
get
way
the
out.
of it, you gonna hurt them more than what you realize.
Tony, they looking for the easy way
To
out.
the point now, it's the future. It's a whole nother way that we didn't learn. We just, nigga, I'm still trying to learn how to work my phone.
Yo, my son said he wanna be
You know what I'm saying?
a YouTuber. I said, what the hell is a YouTuber?
Exactly.
You want me to explain it to you?
See, I'm behind on this
You want me to
thing.
explain it to
We
you?
all behind on
But
that.
serious, man. That shit,
We all
man, I
behind
met a
on
nigga, man. That nigga say the first check was $67,000, man.
That's
Off
that
Facebook.
information and that education that we think that they ain't getting, that they getting on the highest level that's coming to the. I got 3. I can show you some pictures. He said he want to be a YouTuber. I got 3 little
You a
grandgirls.
smart fella.
All 3 of them.
Smart fella. I talk to you when you get off work, bro.
The oldest one is a boy. He 11. He got 2 little sisters, 1 and 2. Got another one from the son. She 1. They don't know nobody else but me.
K1.
You see what I'm
We
saying?
through.
And get what?
We
I
through.
accept that.
Yeah, we gotta close
I
out.
accept that.
We gonna close
I
out.
accept how my life went, bro. That's the thing with that. You see what I'm saying? I done had a lot of adversity had in my life. I had a motherfucker walk up to me and say, "Man, you don't look like niggas you've been through." Why should I?
That's
I
true.
grew up in Kingston too.
Come on.
I can show you my mom and daddy wedding picture that they took on my grandma's porch on 44.
Come on. Gloss, I know you.
I grew up on 47.
Yeah.
Where was I going even though I lived in the house? Where I was going every day?
To the project.
Goddamn project. I spent, like I tell a nigga, I spent my winter and went to school in Kingston, and I spent my summer in Gay City at Miss Franklin house
Come on.
with Samuel People,
People.
Punkin, who I got pictures with right now, me and him in the goddamn bathtub together.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But niggas don't know. You don't post it though.
They way of making money is totally different.
Yeah, it's a different world, man.
No, it's a different trade.